guys, welcome back here to Advanced Bass Fishing, and appreciate you guys coming by the channel for the video today. Guys, today we're going to be talking about the wiggle wart, and something that you don't hear much about wiggle wart, fishing these things in late summer and early fall. You know, most people that fish a wiggle wart or like a rock crawler, it's completely associated with like, you know, late winter, pre-spawn, early springtime bass fishing. But there's a couple different ways you can catch them on the wiggle wart in warm water. We're going to go over that in today's video, and definitely think it's going to add up give you guys a new technique to add to your arsenal there. Also, guys, I got several quick things I just like to cover before we get started to keep the lights on in the tackle room here. Just want to remind everybody we are down to the last week in the Founders Day sale on my Solar Bat RB2 and RB3 series sunglasses. Get a pair by the end of this month. You can get them at 30% off. And also, guys, if you buy a pair of them, you get another free pair of $100 sunglasses, absolutely free. I'll put the Solar Bat link in the description of the video. Use my promo code RandyB for free shipping and handling. And a quick reminder, we're also down to the end of the line, the last week of the sale on my, but the Cast King ALTI bait cast drill. I've been talking about this, guys. Virtually impossible to backlash with this Halo Vortex braking system. The world's only all titanium spool, 11 ball bearings, light and smooth. Right now, guys, you can get it at 10% off from Cast King for the month, plus another 10% off if you use my promo code RANDY10. So I'll have the Cast King link in this video description if you guys would like to get one of the ALTI bait cast drills. This is the one I use here, guys. Absolutely love it. So appreciate you guys putting up with the plugs there. Okay, guys, wiggle wart. Let's talk a little bit about the wiggle wart and a couple different reasons why it sort of gained, you know, notoriety that it has. And it's sort of like, it's got a thing of a limitation that it only works at certain times of the year, and that's not really true to some extent. Now, for whatever reason, this bait is sort of like it's a mystery to a lot of bass fishermen because it's iconic in my part of the country and a lot of parts of the country. It's been that way for 50 years that this is like the best pre-spawn crankbait that you can get. And the thing that sets it apart is it's got an extremely wide wobble that goes side to side on the older models. Now the newer models, it's more tight and they don't catch near as many fish. But if you can find one of the old wiggle warts that really swing wide side to side like that, they're worth their weight in gold, guys. They catch so many fish during the pre-spawn time of the year, but they're sort of like jerk baits, and people, they put them away after about April. Most people do. This is sort of a mistake. A couple different things I want to talk about. Now, I will admit to the fact that I have not done that well on a wiggle wart during the summertime of the month, except for one situation I want to talk about here if you have that situation in your arsenal. And it's going to work anytime between like July and towards the end of September. Now, you're not going to catch many largemouth or spotted bass on it, but if you have smallmouth in the lake, guys, smallmouth will hammer a wiggle wart in hot water, especially the clearer the better. So the thing about that is, number one, the best situation for it, all you guys that fish up north, those big famous smallmouth fisheries, all the Great Lakes, Lake St. Clair, Lake Champlain, Mille Lacs, you know, all of that, Saginaw Bay, all of those famous smallmouth fisheries, you can take a wiggle wart and get out there like on those main lake flats that have rock and grass on it, gin clear water, get out there in about, you know, 6 to 12 foot of water and burn this thing, speed crank it, throw it out there, put it on like 12-pound line. You don't even have to hit the bottom with it. You're not even really concerned about that. It's okay if you do, but you don't have to. Throw it out there and just burn it with a fast stop and go retrieve. And this thing is just going crazy all over the place hunting like that. And guys, I've caught some giant bags of smallmouth doing that. Now you can also catch them on lakes that have smallmouth that are not up north, as long as you've got the clear water. So if you got water visibility of about, you know, 3 foot, 4 foot, something like that, and you have a good smallmouth bass population, same thing with that. Get out there like on flatter gravel points, crank it on points, crank it down bluff banks, down rocky banks. Really, really good bait to catch them during the fall time of the year, during the late summer time of the year in any type of a crawdad pattern like that. But that's sort of the one thing that I never really understood why it just sort of quit working between like May, June, July, something like that. Not very good for largemouth and spotted bass. But what happens with the wigglewort is they start biting it later in the fall, earlier than what a lot of people think. Now, a lot of people think a wigglewort is like a February, March, April bait, you know, that type of time frame. But I've caught some good fish on a wigglewort, largemouth, spotted bass, and smallmouth, starting in about November. November and December, they start biting it earlier than what a lot of people fish it, as long as that water temperature is in the 50s and the 60s. Now, once it cools down into the 40s, like in January in a lot of places across the country, you're gonna have a dead spell. They're not gonna bite it very well. But once that water temperature starts warming up again into the low 50s back in the early spring, they're gonna get right back on it. So anyway, guys, just a few little tips with the wigglewort there. Hope it helps you guys catch some. And also, guys, you can get these wiggleworts through my tackle warehouse link in the description of this video, and talk to you guys later.